Hello everybody, my name's Rob. We have been very kindly donated a Kentex disabled tricycle, which is been generously donated by a charity for my own son who is autistic. It's I've been looking on the internet to see if anybody's actually got any build manuals or any sort of tips or tricks on this thing. There's literally nothing on this thing. I think it's a Taiwanese make model, and the instructions that come with it are absolutely pitiful. As it happens, I'm pretty competent with bikes. I've been playing around with bikes all my life, but even I'm daunted by this thing. This is just the rolling chassis, which I've taken out of the bags, and here we've got all of the supportive contact points. So we've got the side pads and the back pads, the headrests and things like that. Some of which we'll need, some of it we won't. The instructions are 4 pages, and it's less accurate than an IKEA catalogue. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and build it up, and as we build it up, we're going to try and teach anybody who wants to figure out how to build this, how to build it. The bike itself is really interesting. It seems to be based around a beam chassis. Like most Taiwanese stuff, the welds are really, really pretty. The components themselves, they're very, very basic, very, very bog standard. You've got a bottom bracket shell there with your archetypal square taper bottom bracket in there. You've got very easy 1-inch steerer with a headset, threaded headset, so back to the old school stuff. You've got some V-brakes, and the interesting stuff comes at the back. So we've got at the back this whole unit which comes off. It's got horizontal dropouts, and these horizontal dropouts house the rear axle. From what I can tell, and I'm still not 100% certain how this works, because again, we've got very little instructions. I don't believe this is supposed to move from side to side. From what we've got, and I'll show you from the other angle in a second, is we've got a drum brake. We've got your kind of a classic freewheel BMX style, and then we have this moving axle. Now, if you look, I don't know if you can see from this angle, you've got grub screws in here, and from what I can tell, I think we can move this around and we can sort of stop this axle from moving side to side. Looking at the back of it, we have another headset, and this headset is for the steering arm. The steering arm, I think, is going to come in 2 pieces. What we've got here is we've got a handle, which there's going to be another piece that fits onto that, which has a brake. I'm guessing, although again the instructions are pretty poor, I'm guessing that the brake is for this rear drum brake. We've also got a steering bar. So this steering bar, from what I can tell, is going to move, and I know it's not particularly good. I'm doing this and holding this at the same time. This is going to move from here and into here onto there like so. And so that means that we can steer the bike from the back if my son is becoming a little too erratic. None of this is greased. So this is the seat post. It's all straight out of the shop, so I'm going to have to grease everything up. As you can see, there's very, very little assembly. It's only the bearing systems that seem to be assembled, and everything else you have to assemble yourself. So we've got the headset, which is pre-assembled. We've got the bottom bracket, which is pre-assembled. We have the rear axle, which is pre-assembled, and we have the steering headset for the steering bar, which is at the back, which is pre-assembled, and everything else we have to build ourselves. There's a big bag of bits. They're all here. I'm not sure what they are. I will keep you posted as we build things up. It's going to be a little bit hit and miss, but let's see where we go.